According to New York University sociologist Richard Aroom, several thousand undergraduates did not learn critical thinking and complex reasoning within their 4 years of college. Many of the students surveyed graduated without knowing to sift fact from opinion, make a clear written argument, or objectively review conflict reports of a situation or event. My name is Jen Townsend, and luckily I received my master's from Nichols College, where critical thinking is a main focus in the curriculum. Therefore, I am here today to give college seniors advice on 5 main areas of being an adult that I wish someone had told me. When I entered my senior year of college, I was so excited to be done with school and move on to a full-time job and live on my own. But it wasn't until halfway through my senior year that it really hit me. In just 4 months, I had to find a job, live on my own, pay lots of bills, and maintain a healthy lifestyle. As an admissions counselor, I became extremely close with the students I work with, and my favorite part of the job is seeing them grow through college and become adults. And I always try and share with them some advice on becoming an adult. The first myth I realized as a senior is that just because I have a graduate degree, it did not guarantee me a job. I didn't realize how challenging it was to have something lined up right after graduating. My advice for all college students is to really narrow down what your interests are and start your experience early. It is critical to think about what you see your future career to be and take the next steps to get there. The more experience you have, the more you can write about in your resume and talk about in interviews. I am all for having fun senior year, but I advise all seniors to make sure they keep working hard in class and always be on the lookout for job openings. Keep updating your resume and LinkedIn profiles because you never know when something will fall into place. Here is a picture of me at my first full-time job. I will never forget receiving the phone call and being so proud that I had did it. Yeah, it is not what I want to do for the rest of my life, but it was a great first stepping stone and broadened my network. The second advice I give to seniors in college is to be ready to budget. Everyone is different, but I chose to get my own place right after college instead of living back with my parents. This meant I had to find an apartment that was affordable to me. I reached out to 3 other girls who were fortunately trying to do the same thing, which cut down my rent a lot. We also decided not to pay for cable the first year to save some money. It sounds terrible, but we really did save a lot, and it forced us to go out and do stuff instead of watch television. Budgeting is also really important after college because you need to make smart decisions what you want to do and spend your money on. Sometimes friends will want to go out a couple times a week, but I found out fast that this was just not in the budget for me. It was hard to say no in the end, but I knew I had rent, utilities, phone, and student loans to pay, so it was something I had to do. I also decided that maybe a part-time job wasn't the worst idea to bring in another source of income. At first, I was a little embarrassed that I started waitressing on the weekends, even though I had a full-time job, but quickly realized it helped me so much and made saving much easier. I only have 1 day off a week to distress, but the part-time job really helped me with bills and obviously gave me more spending money. I really recommend reading the book The Total Money Makeover, A Proven Plan for Financial Fitness by Dave Ramsey. This book was given to me by my dad, and of course at first it was sitting in my closet for months, but one day I picked it up and couldn't put it down. It gives amazing tips on how to build credit, build a savings account, and also how to recognize the 10 most dangerous money myths. My third tip may sound really silly, but everyone should learn how to cook, for real. Once you graduate, there is no dining hall, and you cannot live off ramen noodles anymore. My advice to college graduates is to have mom or grandma or someone lend you some recipes or enroll in some cooking classes. I looked out because my roommate is an amazing cook, so I learned a lot from her, but after graduating, this was really my first time cooking meals for myself. Learning some essential kitchen skills, basic meals, and ways to stay within your food budget is really important. I had little to no experience with cooking, but over the years I have become better at it and love having my friends over to try new recipes. Like this year, I hosted Friendsgiving, as you can see in the picture. Next advice is to really think beyond work. Your future career should be your main focus, but always remember that work isn't everything. Go see the world, even on a budget for free. Go on dates, keep up your own creative side projects, and challenge yourself to see the world in new ways. I think the hardest adjustment for me after college was to take care of myself. I had a full time job, waitressing on the weekends, and finishing my master's. Therefore, I really had time to work and work out, which is something really important to me. I grew up playing sports, so I always am looking for time and ways to bring it back into my life. Luckily, by working on a college campus, there are fitness classes available during lunch and after work. There are staff intramural teams to play on, and my hours can be flexible where I can work out in the mornings. You just have to find that time and always make sure you're keeping yourself healthy. Before I started my first job, I knew I wanted to travel. I had the opportunity to go to Argentina with the Nichols College field hockey team and would recommend to everyone to travel internationally at least once. It is amazing to see the different cultures, and although sometimes pricey, the experience is completely worth it, and I hope to one day be able to travel to every country at least once. My final advice for undergraduates is not to be afraid to fail. One of my favorite quotes is from Sonia Richards Ross, a 4-time gold medal Olympian, who said recent graduates need to be bold and fearless. The world needs new and fresh ideas. The world needs you. Don't conform or be afraid to try and fail. Failure is an important ingredient to success. You'll be happier and more proud of your results when you take the risk. College is an amazing time to get out of your comfort zone, start fresh, and get involved in things you never have before. If you don't land your first interview, it wasn't meant to be. Think about what you could have done better, what experiences you might need, and move on to the next interview. Never give up. The American fashion designer Vera Wang trained her entire childhood to become an Olympic figure skater, but obviously did not make the cut for the 1968 Olympic figure skating team. She realized she had a high interest in fashion, so she decided to work for Vogue and moved her way up to editor, but was passed over for the editor-in-chief position. To date, both her bridal and evening apparel are sold in over 55 upscale retailers. Her fashions are frequently worn in Hollywood at film premieres and award ceremonies, and she is arguably one of the most prominent designers of bridal wear and Oscar dresses in America. It took her almost 35 years to realize what her true career was and had to fail many times before becoming so successful and such an inspiring designer. I hope these 5 areas of advice helps all college graduates and gives them hope that becoming an adult is hard work, but it's a wonderful next step of life and it shouldn't be taken for granted.